Okay.
So our documentary will be on mental health among students in university. It has been shown that students are more susceptible to developing mental health issues. Most people either first experience mental health or first seek advice for mental health whilst at university. It's commonly thought that, like, prior to university, like, people think about the idealistic view of it and kind of going out and freedom and socialising. But not many people realise before coming the other side of it. So the workload and loneliness and things like that. So all those kind of challenges can really impact students' mental health. So in our documentary, we're going to investigate this mental health and wellbeing services at Swansea University, as well as kind of investigating students' opinions on those services and how accessible that they are.
So we chose this topic after doing some research around mental health in universities, and we found that there is quite a severe rate of mental health issues going on within students and student life. So we are aiming to interview students and non-students about their experiences and opinions of the student lifestyle and the impacts that it can have on the mental health. And we're also going to send out some surveys to gather a wider range of opinions around mental health and the impacts that university life has on it. And we're also hoping to interview the welfare officer to understand the university's perspectives of the support that they offer and the resources that are offered by Swansea University as well.
Yeah, so in our research we actually found that one student dies by suicide in the UK every 4 days, and that right now about 1 in 3 students are suffering from a serious psychological issue for which they felt they needed professional help. And we think this is a good time to open this discussion because this number is on the rise. So as Chelsea said, we want to appeal to maybe non-students who aren't aware of the scale of the issue, and we want to help validate students who may be going through something similar and feel that they're alone. We know that this is something that's important to students in Swansea. Recently, quite a few people have taken to social media to post anonymous complaints regarding the lack of mental health services available in the university. So, sorry.
Okay. Do you want me to go?
I've got one more thing to say, I just got to remember what it was. Yeah, so we think there's a gap in the communication between the university and the students. They're trying their best to kind of raise awareness about mental health, but the students, they're not sure where to go. So in talking to the welfare officers and talking with students, we want to help bridge this gap and kind of make sure that everyone's aware where they can go get help if they so need it.
Yeah, I'm in charge of the filming and the sort of technical stuff. So when we're filming it, we'll be using lots of wide shots to establish a location for the scene, and also wide shots are good for having lots of them just so you can put voice over them to add exposition. With the audio, we're going to make sure we're going to double check the recording, make sure everything's working fine so it sounds good. And we'll be using a lot of sequences when we're filming it, so you can direct the viewer's attention to key parts of the video and what you actually want them to see and understand. Sequences are important because if you don't have them, there's no narrative, so people just get bored. If you have a narrative, people want to see where the story goes and watch it reach its course.
So obviously, because we're doing an investigation on mental health, we want to make sure that we approach it with the right ethics. We want to make sure that the students that are sharing their personal stories are happy to give us their information and they know where it's going to be used and how the film is going to be used. And we want to make sure that they know that they're in charge of how, for example, if they are unhappy with the film or they're unhappy with the information that they share, that they can take control of it and, say that they don't want it to be used in the film. And we'll also be speaking to one of the members of the mental health department, and we don't want it to seem as if we're pressuring them to, answer any personal or difficult questions. So for us, it's going to be important that we get the information that we need from the students and the staff in our interviews, but we don't want anyone to seem uncomfortable or pressured into making any answers.
Any questions, anybody? Sure. I'll do questions, are we?
Do you anticipate much difficulty getting straight answers of people?
Yeah, well, one of our ideas is to do an anonymous survey, so to spread it across social media with the option to submit a comment anonymously. So people are then able to share their thoughts, their ideas, and their stories without having a name or a voice attached to it. And yeah, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to get some one-on-one interviews as well, where people are willing to share their stories. But in the case that they're not willing to, we could use the anonymous information that we get and do a voiceover. So we're still telling the story and we're giving a voice to the people who aren't willing to share their personal stories.
Sorry.